shoot harder than that. Hi, I'm Michael Moynihan. This weekend I wrote a piece for the Daily Beast about tabloids, and specifically in the context of British tabloids and the Leveson Commission, taking a lot of heat, a lot of scuzzy little practices. But we're here with Mike Daly, who is on staff at the Daily Beast and a former tabloid journalist. And you said something to me earlier today that you think tabloids are better newspapers in general in this country than broadsheets and perform a better service or a different service.
I just think they're supposed to be smarter, not dumber.
Explain that, because most people would say the New York Post, the Daily News.
The New York Post can be like a comic book for yuppies, but when it steps up and it really is like a tabloid newspaper, like the whole thing about should Mayor Bloomberg have gone on with the marathon, and all these questions, and there were issues discussed that was reported in the broadsheets, and then the Post ran a picture of the generators to keep the runners warm in Central Park, while all of Breezy Point and Rockaway and Staten Island had no electricity. End of story.
So here's the question. This is
by that I mean it's smarter in terms of getting to the essence of something.
And it's a populist thing. We have newspapers, broadsheets are obsessed with being nonpartisan, with being unbiased in their coverage. That doesn't happen as much in tabloids. I mean, they're much feistier, more sharp-elbowed material. I mean, do you think that's a better approach for news?
Well, it just gets the essence of things. I mean, you know, there can be all kinds of news in the world. I mean, if you want to look at I always think of the Munich Post. Right? When Hitler's rising, there were all the broadsheets were talking about the implications of National Socialism and what does this mean to the future of democracy. But the Munich Post ran a bunch of noses on the front page and said, which is an Aryan nose? And one of the noses was Hitler's. They got right to the essence of what those guys were about. And of course, one of the first people who got whacked was the editor of the Munich Post when Hitler came in with his nose. And
so what do you make of what's going on in the UK? I mean, these are tabloids. They're populist tabloids. They, like the Daily Mail, they're little Englander papers. They tend to be sort of right of center politically, but they're also doing all this celebrity stuff that not only gets them in trouble, but ends in a paper, the News of the World, that has been published continuously for 140, 160 years, being shut down. I mean, do you see that when you were at the Daily News and working in tabloids? Do you see that kind of scumminess from the reporters trying to get the celebrity story, trying to get out in front of people?
No, you're not. What, you mean like hacking phones or something?
It's come up a little bit recently. The hacking of the phones.
No, but I don't see guys. I never saw. Nobody I was ever around at the Daily News would ever even thought of doing that, particularly if a kid's murdered. I mean, we're the guys that go out there and we're standing in the rain when they bring their kid's body out. I mean, we see the face of the mother.
But Times doesn't do that?
Yeah, they're a little more, but not as they do that more than they used to. But we were the guys that always were there. And then, if there's 30 murders in a weekend, we were at all 30 murders. I mean, so we get a sense of what that stuff is. I mean, the Times is often, it's like travel writing. It's like they're telling you, this far-flung place and what's going on there. And a tabloid at its best is it's for people whose lives are changed by daily events. And then, unfortunately, you get all this other kind of celebrity stuff in there stirred in.
So it's not, so the conclusion here is it's not the celebrity stuff, the page 6 stuff as such, but they do better reporting on sort of stories that matter to people in the city.
When they get to the essence of things, when they're on their game, I mean, sometimes the Times actually does some great tabloid reporting too, when they really get to the essence of things. But I mean, I think that England is much more, by my experience, it's much more about just selling papers. I think it's gotten more like that here because times are tough.
Resolved, the issue is resolved by Mike Daly, former New York Daily News, and currently, thank God, at the Daily Beast.
Still a tabloid journalist.
Still a tabloid journalist.
Not former.
No, he's a former Daily News, but still a tabloid journalist.
It's just the screen is the same size.
Comrades watching at home is a better form of journalism, and pay attention. Mike's right about this.